McDowell chose the outside. He and Cindric, two Mustangs, lead them to green.
Where'd my outside line go, Kevin?
Well, they had the start coordinated between the two Fords of Austin Cindric and Michael McDowell for Michael McDowell to take off and come down in front of Austin Cindric so that they were lined up early.
RC Keselowski hung out on the outside. 3 wide. The crossover, letting McDowell in, getting established on that bottom. It was effective.
And the one thing I always liked being in race 2 was I got to watch race 1 and learn the characteristics of some of the cars so that I knew what to expect. I always felt like in race 2 of the duels, I could be more aggressive right off the bat because I knew what those characteristics were. And you know, even if you didn't have a teammate or something in the first race, you could watch and learn and see what was going on.
So the big question is, how many cars will come with him?
The big question is, absolutely, do the cars behind him know that they're pitting? Don't stack it up behind him.
Yeah, he gets down off track quickly. This is much better organized than in race number 1. 8 cars pitting. Josh.
Start with the 20 of Christopher Bell. The only real complaint for him is a little bit free in the tri-oval as far as the 23 of Bubba Wallace. Most laps he's ever led in a duel with 21 in this race as he looks for his first win in the duel.
BJ McLeod has made his stop, trying to make the show, and it looks like most of them will come out together. 2 packs, a 5 and a 3. All right, McDowell now the leader. 5 Fords in front of Denny Hamlin's Toyota, then 2 more Fords. Will they come this lap?
Yes.
Yes.
Not all of them.
Nope. Again, 8 cars headed for pit road. Regan.
Mike the 71 is Zane Smith getting ready to make his second start in the Daytona 500 after tonight. He told me earlier that this race right now way less stressful than last year when he had to race in, and it's been that way on the radio. Very calm, hasn't said a word. Jamie?
Austin Cindric, Michael McDowell both pull into their pit box. They've been working together. You saw them light them up on pit road. They want to take care of their tires. Just enough fuel here to make it to the end.
That will leave 5 cars on the racetrack that have not pitted, led by Harrison Burton, Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski. They're all Fords. David Reagan, Kaz Grala. And they're all in this time, it looks like. Zane Smith, too fast exiting pit road. That'll be a drive-through penalty at pit road speed.
Group up as you see Michael McDowell at the front of that pack.
You know who's right behind him? Denny Hamlin. Where did he come from?
Cindric to the inside on Chase Briscoe.
Save that fuel riding around in the back that you talked about. You harped on us, Kevin, and that's exactly what you just saw with Denny Hamlin. Quick pit stop, put him right up front, right where he needed to be. Blaney went to move up, make a pass. Byron blocked him, got him really stacked.
Byron Blaney
turned him
into
around.
the wall.
Kyle Busch.
And just like last year, Blaney gets caught up in the big one.
Looks like he's getting out okay. Saw it coming. He made the move. Byron made the block, and it just got him stacked up behind him and started tank swapping, and it was gone.
Noah Gragson, Blaney walks away from his car. He is okay. The AMR safety crew quickly on the scene. Oh, Riley Herbst race ends early.
That was a big shot for Blaney.
All right, it all starts. I saw it starts with the Blaney behind William Byron. He goes to make a move. Byron with a big block. Watch this. Kind of a late block. Got him stacked up. Went back to the bottom. Side draft and then just stacked him up behind him.
Kyle Busch got into the back of the 24 and turned him sideways.
And did Brad Keselowski get into the back of Kyle Busch?
tore up a lot of good race cars, Clint. Man, you hate to see that in these qualifying races.
Yeah, Keselowski, as you mentioned, he was right there in the middle of it as well.
Yeah, and I think this is going to start with this car right here. Blaney's going to pull up.
Yeah, but
and what's going to happen here is Brad Keselowski's into the back of the 8, who you can see the flames coming out of Kyle Busch's car, trying to keep from getting into the back of the 24, but the 6 is pushing Kyle Busch so hard that he can't get checked up. You saw the flames come out of the pipes.
Doesn't take much. That movement, as soon as he moved and made it, it was kind of a late block, but it was still a good block. And when Blaney went back down to the bottom, it just stacked them up and they run them over from behind. You saw them all lift, just like you said. Flames tell all sign when they come out of those pipes that they're lifting, but it accordions fast at 200 miles an hour.
Oh,
that's a heavy hit. Right rear, right into the wall, head on like that. Doesn't get any harder, Kevin.
That is one of the hardest hits that you can take in a race car, when you get turned in the middle of the straightaway, right front into the wall. And it is so violent, and I'm so happy to see him put that window net down quick. I know the car was on fire and he was in a hurry, but you could hear it in his voice how bad it hurt. And you're going to see him shoot up right here.
You hear him go back to the gas, saving grace.
We'll have 8 laps to run. Cars that were in the accident go to the tail end of the longest line. That's why the inside lane is so much shorter than the outside. Here we go.
It's weird.
Toyota's on the bottom, Ford's up top.
That was a weird restart with all those cars on the outside, and it looked like the inside line wasn't going. All of a sudden, here comes that outside line with all those cars.
Comes a huge run by McDowell off the bumper, Cindric on that outside. That was a quick move right there, heads up move.
And look at that 36, Kaz Grala, trying to race his way into the top Daytona 500, and he moves into 5th position.
I don't know if there's damage on that car or not. Talking about Keselowski, he just doesn't seem like he can really pull up to the car of Cindric in front of him quite as good as he was before.
Well, I think a lot of it is probably due to the 36 car. When those guys get going, the 36 car is not close enough to Brad.
Whoa, Denny Hamlin!
Denny, he moved down. He's going to miss the block by his teammate. That is not at all what he wanted.
And McDowell pays the price. Wow, that was close.
That was a last-minute decision by him. He elected to go up, make that block. I know he didn't want to get off the bumper of his teammate Bell, though.
That almost wadded up the whole field.
Including that McDowell that was going to start on the front row Sunday.
Late block.
That was as close as it gets.
And when Denny went up to make that block, it was in the worst spot it could be going into the tri-oval, and then Michael McDowell had to lift, and there was so much momentum, and almost just pushed him out of line from the front and the back. Big push by the 2. See the 2, everybody lift just like the last wreck, and Michael McDowell went up to keep that wreck from happening.
And in the back, Grala and McLeod battling for the last spot in the field. Deep in the pack, last next to the last row.
It shows you how much a 3-wide scenario slows down that line and just the effect that it made.
There they are, battling for the Daytona 500. Kaz Grala must finish ahead of these other 2 cars or he goes home.
It's going to come down to help. Who can get help behind them?
McLeod holding his own, moving up. And once again, we're going to come to the white flag. Brought to you by Credit One Bank. as Denny Hamlin leads them toward the checkered flag. And this battle to qualify is just as good as race 1.
This outside line's forming. These Fords are going for it. Big time push by Cindric into Harrison Burton. Here they come. You see Bell move up and slow that momentum, Kevin.
Yeah, he blocked the Fords there with the momentum, and he's going to try to use that. And Denny Hamlin with another aggressive block, and Bell right back in front of the 21.
Almost too aggressive. Not almost. It was too aggressive. Got him down. The momentum goes to the outside with Bell.
Burton just couldn't squeeze down, so Cindric does. Goes underneath Harrison Burton, and it's Austin Cindric chasing Christopher Bell for the win. Gralla McLeod right together side by side. One of them makes it. One of them goes home. Here we come to the line. Christopher Bell's going to win it. Second is Cindric, and making the Daytona 500 appears to be Kaz Gralla.
Harrison Burton was really hoping he was going to get that help and stay with him off of forward by Cindric. Cindric went for it on the bottom.
He's not going to be happy about that.
No.
You know, I think being on the same team, I think Harrison Burton is going to be severely unhappy with Austin Cindric.
Yeah, I think rightfully so.